Today we're talking about 3 types of buyers that are winning offers in 2026, 2 types of buyers that are not winning offers, and how you can position yourself to buy a house in 2026. Hey guys, Cameron Stewart here with the Homes by Cameron Stewart real estate team out of Rome, New York, powered by eXp Realty. Today we're going to talk about the 3 types of buyers that are winning offers in this market in 2026, the 2 types of buyers that are not winning offers, and how you can position yourself to be one of those people who purchase a house and win an offer in 2026. Before we go any further, if you like this video or like this series, please drop a like or consider subscribing, because I want to produce some more content for you guys to help you get more knowledgeable about buying and selling real estate here in New York. All right, so winning buyers versus losing buyers and the offers that distinguish them. And before we go any further, remember it's a lot to do with the real estate agent as well. You should be looking to position yourself with a buyer's agent that can help explain a lot of the nuances of the contract, the terms. Terms are just as important. Sometimes we'll go over that, not just price itself, okay? So the first type of winning buyer is a decisive buyer. Now, a decisive buyer starts with having a buy box. Now imagine a box, okay, that has all the qualifying criteria of what you are looking to purchase. Are you looking to purchase between 250 and 300,000, 3 or 4 bedrooms, at least 1.5 bath, specific neighborhoods? That is your buy box. Knowing what's in your buy box before you even start your search is very important. Sometimes we have to search a little bit to understand what our buy box should be, okay? However, if you're walking into a house without a predetermined buy box, it's going to make your life a lot harder. What this does is by the time you get into the house to tour it, you already have a firm understanding what you're looking for and what you're not looking for, and there's no seeing if this house is a fit. You're going to know a few minutes after walking in whether or not it's a good fit for you and your family. Now, when a home fits the box, that's where the decisiveness comes in. You need to make a decision quickly. So having that predetermined buy box allows you to make decisions quickly, and sometimes the first person to put in an offer is the one who wins. And with a buy box, you've probably seen enough that you recognize the opportunity as soon as you witness it. And remember, the house you sleep on is the house that someone else buys. The second type of winning buyer is a buyer with a clean offer structure. As we mentioned before, sometimes the offer terms are just as important as the offer price. Yes, everyone wants to sell their house for the most amount of money, but I cannot tell you how many times I've had a buyer that we've had a creative term in our contract and our purchase offer that allowed us to be the winning offer. You have to pay attention to those terms. In any offer, the fewer contingencies, the stronger the offer. So if you can put yourself in a position to not need a home inspection, to not have an appraisal, if the house doesn't have a well or a septic, the less contingencies, the cleaner the offer, and the more the seller wants to accept an offer with the least amount of contingencies. Flexible closing times are huge. Sometimes the seller has no clue when they're going to need to be in their new house. Offering a flexible closing time, or at the very least letting the sellers know when you're putting the offer in that you're going to be flexible on closing, really can help. Now, not every buyer can be flexible with closing, so know if you can or not. Put that within your buy box. And folks, please work with a real estate agent who understands the dynamics of the terms in the contract and understands how to place them to your advantage while still looking good to a seller. Because remember, it's not always the highest offer that wins. The third type of winning buyer in today's market in 2026 is a prepared buyer. Do you have your pre-approval set? I can't tell you how many times I talked to someone on a Thursday or Friday and they started the pre-approval process. The loan officer has let us know that they're good to go, but we don't have the official approval yet. We go to see a house on, let's say, a Saturday, okay? We like the house, we want to put an offer in. We don't have the official approval yet. We just have the go-ahead. And now the bank's closed and we can't get a hold of them in order to produce the official document we need to put an offer in. That is how you lose offers. So I urge you, before you start looking, get pre-approved. Most sellers are not going to let a buyer into their home unless they're pre-approved. So you have to really anyway. But when it comes time to act, there's a 90% chance it's going to be the weekend. There's also a good chance that your lender, if you're working with a traditional bank, is not going to be open to facilitate your request on the weekend. Be prepared ahead of time with that pre-approval. Also, have you considered working with a seasoned mortgage professional and not just a brick and mortar bank? I mentioned just a moment ago that brick and mortar banks are not open on Saturdays and Sundays, which is the most active day in real estate. However, mortgage lenders who do nothing but loan on mortgages tend to answer their phone at 2 p.m. on a Saturday. So if you have not yet considered working with maybe a mortgage lender who does not work at a traditional brick and mortar bank, you may want to consider that. You're also going to want to know your numbers. How much is the down payment going to be on this according to your pre-approval? What are the taxes? These are all things that we should know before getting to the house, because if we like the house, we need to make a move quickly. And it's really tough to move quickly when you're trying to do research on taxes and things of that nature. So remember, folks, preparation is what gives way to act quickly. Now, let's pivot to two types of buyers that are losing offers in 2026, and hint, they've probably been losing offers for the last few years. The first one is the let's wait and see type of buyer. We have all met someone who since 2020 has been saying, we're waiting for the rates to come down, we're waiting for the rates to come down, we're waiting for the market to tank, I'm not gonna buy now, it's not a good time. Well, guess what? Prices are up 40% in the last 4 or 5 years, and although rates have gone up, anyone who purchased at that point in time is probably in a good situation compared to today's market with the inflation that we've seen and appreciation with home prices. These folks tend to be waiting for prices to come down. Well, two things for you here. What's the last time outside of gas that you've seen prices come down? There's not a lot of things in America that prices come down on. And I'm not sitting here and saying that prices on homes will never come down. What I'm asking you to actually consider is, in the year 2026, are many things going to come down in price at all? Also, there's going to be someone watching this video that says, Cameron, don't buy now, you buy in the dip, you gotta wait for the dip. Well, if a dip comes around 7 to 10 years, but you have to buy a house to work that new job in that new city 4 months from now, can you wait 7 to 10 years for the dip? And unfortunately, a lot of times this hesitation that people have is on quality homes, objectively nice, solid, priced well homes. And a lot of times it almost feels as if these buyers were not ready to buy to begin with. Maybe they didn't have a buy box. Maybe they weren't sure what they were looking for, but the hesitation will cost buyers in 2026. And just remember, while you're waiting, someone's buying. The second type of buyer that's losing deals in 2026, and likely once again losing deals for the last few years, are low ball offer buyers. A lot of times these types of buyers feel that they only are going to win or get a deal if they argue off the list price. Most of the time these buyers are not even asking themselves, is this a good list price to start? They're just concerned about getting something off the top from the seller. They're worried about negotiating a good deal when maybe the good deal's already there. Now, I'm not trying to make the claim that offering 5 or 6% less than list price is lowballing. I'm talking about a $250,000 house that everyone realizes is worth $250,000 or close to it, and offering $150,000. There are buyers out there doing that all the time. And listen, sometimes it works with the distressed properties, or if it's really a $150,000 house and the seller prices it at $250,000. But the worst thing you can do as a buyer, especially if you're actually interested in a place and you just want a little bit off the top, is to come in too low. You will lose the seller a lot of the times, and they may just choose not to counter you. I also feel that sometimes buyers lowball offers because they really want to be buying in a lower price tier than what they're looking at. The only real advice I can give to those types of buyers is you have to understand which houses are priced too high. Those homes you can offer lower on. But I think the better approach is shop within your price tier. You're going to get a lot better results. You're going to have an easier time. Your hair is not going to go gray while you're going through the process. Focus on the price group and the price tier that best fits you instead of lowballing higher priced homes. The goal is not to win the negotiation. The goal is to win and buy the right house for you and your family. Now, in closing, folks, the market is still kind of crazy. It has been for the last few years. We should be totally understanding of that at this point in time. But there are things that buyers do every day that win offers, and then there's the other group of buyers who do everything they can, it seems like, to not win an offer, and they seem like their own worst enemy sometimes. If you're interested in getting more information on how to win an offer in 2026, give me a call or comment in this video. This is Cameron Stewart with the Homes by Cameron Stewart Real Estate Team powered by eXp Realty. Look forward to talking to you guys soon.